Burns. I just want to say I have read the Daniel 2020 textbook in its entirety. I really loved this book. It was really enlightening and gave me a great insight into how to integrate all these principles with my faith. It also challenged me greatly, made me think about how much time I really am going to need to take to think through each of these ethical principles, and I think even more than I did throughout this exercise for this assignment. I can imagine that even where I am now is going to change over the next couple of years as I work through all this material through this program and to get my degree, and really am thankful to have a safe place to be able to do that here. I tend to be overly self-critical, as many are, and so I think it's going to be good to think through these principles and maybe even obtain feedback from others that are close to me. The process of sanctification throughout my life has brought a lot of heartache, but it's also brought about a lot of healing, and I'm thankful for patient and loving God that has guided me throughout this process. Out of the 6 ethical principles described in the American Counseling Association 2014 Code of Ethics, fidelity is the one that has come into alignment after reading Daniel 2020. Given the scriptures that are referenced and doing some of my own reading, it was really helpful to just surrender to the principle that I'm going to remain faithful to my client no matter what their response is. One of the things that I've worked on in my own life is people pleasing, and to be honest, I'm still a work in progress. I'm still working on that. Galatians 1:10 reminds me to question myself about who I'm serving. Am I serving God or am I serving man? And it's easy for me to keep my word with clients as far as like keeping up with appointments, keeping my commitments, staying current in the latest modality. But I can imagine that it would be challenging to hold space for clients if they respond harshly or if they were to be critical of our work together. I'm lost to hold on to the goodness of God and remain hopeful to Him, and that was also in Daniel 2020. And I also must remember that it's not my job to coddle or please my clients. Most of the time in my own life, the areas that I've had the most growth have been the areas that there was the most struggle. One of the principles that I'm still working through is non-maleficence. And of course, I want the best for my clients, and I don't ever want to cause anyone any harm. But 2 concepts that come up that I wanted to address, and first of those is that the counselor has power. In my life, the messages that I've received have been, you don't know what you're doing, everybody knows more than you do. And so the thought of holding like power is difficult for me. Constantly seeing myself as a beginner, and no matter how much training that I've had. So I'll have to be really mindful of this in all the work that I do. Reading through Daniel 2020 has brought this awareness even into my current position. I'm an executive director of a small nonprofit, and never even considered the potential of power coming into the relationships that I have with my team. So being aware of this now is going to be extremely helpful moving forward in that, and then also I think in my counseling career. I can also see that countertransference could be a big problem when you develop relationships with people and you care about them. It's going to be easy to feel overly protective and for their behaviors to sometimes affect me, especially in those places where I've experienced my own trauma. Thinking about how to put the needs of a client first when my own are like screaming for attention could be really, really difficult. Tish 2021 indicated that countertransference comes from my triggers, but that it's brought to the surface by a client. And so she went on to say that it is important to use those feelings that come up in a way that's beneficial to the client, not to suppress them, which could lead to lack of authenticity in sessions, but and not to allow myself to be immersed in them either, which could easily hijack that therapeutic relationship. Few things that I could think of that would counteract this issue would be my own counseling, continue to work through things that trigger me, having effective supervision, and having a supervisor that's willing to speak truth, and help me process things when they come up, and then just learning more about emotional bracketing and healthy boundaries I think would be really helpful as well. Romans 2023 mentioned 5 skills that could be helpful in dealing with transference and countertransference. They were observation and distancing, differentiation and inventory, resource activation and encouragement, conflict resolution strategies, and target expansion. And basically, these skills help